We have lots of crazy conversations, but this time, you're invited. You're listening to your favorite mother-daughter duo, the Crozier Girls.
I set my stupid alarm for 3 a.m. instead of 3 p.m. So I woke up and I thought, I feel like I've been asleep for a really long time. I don't understand why my alarm hasn't gone off. And then I went back and looked, and it's because it was set for 3 a.m.
Been packing for the last 2 hours because I haven't done any packing until today. So
Okay.
Yep.
Are there things that you're not bringing back that you're just leaving there? Or you pretty much bring back everything that you took?
I mean, like the extra sheets I bought and towels, like I'm just going to leave here.
Sure.
I told Tina that I bought a cheap frying pan for the apartment. I'm just going to leave that. Like I have one. I don't.
Right.
I mean, she can use it for, I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. Is that what you were like referring to? Or? Yeah.
Are you bringing your ice trays home? Your little itty bitty ice trays?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Someday maybe you'll own a camper. You can use them in. They're so tiny and little.
They are. I mean, yeah, but I could use them again at some point. I don't know. You never know where I'll live. Maybe I'll need them.
It's true.
I don't know.
That's true. Okay. So all that'll be coming back. And you only have 2 suitcases because I already brought one home. So.
Yeah, I know. I have plenty of room, though. Okay. I don't know what I'm like totally fine. Well, I was literally thinking, I was like, oh, I could go buy more souvenirs. Like, I'm not going to, but I don't know what.
Well,
I don't know.
I think the one that I brought home, you had packed quite a bit of stuff in it. It was pretty full. And remember, you were trying to fit everything in 2 suitcases, and it was...
Yeah, that's true. I didn't have a full, third
It was very last minute, let's add a 3rd suitcase idea. So,
well, because I realized that they were over 50 pounds.
Right. Literally, the like an hour before we were about to leave, you were...
like 20 minutes before we were about to leave.
True. Yeah. You were...
Y'all were like, we should weigh this. And I was like, oh, yeah, we probably should.
Right. So you didn't have 3 full suitcases. You just had 2.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, your room's ready for you, I guess. I mean, it is. Micah said you could do a whole like unboxing when you get here.
We really?
He did. He said that last week. It was so funny. You have so many packages on your bed.
Wait, that's going to be so fun because I'm sure some of them I don't remember even purchasing. So it will be like an unboxing.
Maybe
it'll be like Christmas Day.
Maybe we should set up a camera and like that could be fun for the podcast.
Oh, I forgot I bought this on Amazon 4 months ago. I just bought some new books yesterday. I'm like, well, they'll be at the house when I get there.
Oh, goodness, yeah. But no, you've got a lot of packages on your bed, and then on your dresser, so much mail. So, but hopefully, I think you'll be able to sort through that pretty quickly, and a lot of eyeliner pencils or eyebrow pencils.
Oh yeah, great! I'm excited about that. I'm gonna keep getting those till I'm like 90 years old.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
And so honestly, I think it's your card that's like assigned. No, I don't think I pay for it.
It's definitely my card. It's part of my subscribe and save. That's why they come automatically. I have like 3 things on subscribe and save. And your eyebrow pencil is
my eyebrow
one
pencil.
Of them. And so,
listen, best eyebrow pencils I've ever found. Maybe I do no makeup one day, but I will always do my eyebrows. Like they're just great eyebrow pencils.
Okay.
So.
And your eyebrows
sponsor me, L'Oreal.
So
thank you. Well, I don't have it right now.
I've never used an eyebrow pencil. Maybe I should.
That's crazy. Well, you get yours like you like get them waxed, right? And I don't do that, so I need to like shape them. You know,
that's true. So. I don't feel like mine have much of a shape. They're really thin here. I'm going to tell her not to do it so thin there. I don't need, but you know how like really thick eyebrows kind of had a moment? I guess maybe they still are. I just never jumped on that bandwagon. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I want my eyebrows to be done the way they've been done for the last 20 plus years. And that's how we're doing it. So
nice.
Anyway.
Well, things from 30 years ago are coming back in style. True. So your eyebrows are probably in style. I have no idea.
Every single movie made when I was a kid, I feel like has been remade. So there's that.
Or like a sequel.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like, does no one have any original thought anymore?
No one has. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that there's original thought in general. That's a whole conversation. But
Oh. Okay. Well, it does say there's nothing new under the sun in Bible. So
exactly.
No one's ever had an original thought. It's just a repackaging.
I mean, maybe like Adam and Eve did. Well, I don't know. Because I'm sure God had thought it before. I don't know. This is a weird conversation.
We're going to go in circles if we start down this path. So anyway.
Oh, man.
Well, and then when you get back, let's see, we're picking you up at the airport. It's going to be really late when you get home. And then do you think you're going to feel like going to church on Sunday?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because I'm going to get up. I mean, I'll be up in time, so
right.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Right. I kind of felt that way, too. I told several people have been saying, is she going to be at church on Sunday? And I'm like, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So.
No, because like as soon as I get back, day one, I'm starting my getting up no later than 6 a.m. every single day. Maybe on Saturdays. No, like I'm serious. And it will align with my schedule here because usually I sleep till like 11 a.m. So really, it'll be the same.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm here for you. I'm going to be supportive of that. And your first week back, you have jury duty.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but even if I didn't have jury duty, I would have to be up sitting in my desk at 8 a.m. And so I'm going to do better about having time in the morning to like wake up so that I'm like awake for work and I've read my Bible and maybe I went on a run or a walk or I like did something active to like get awake. I'm going to get up every morning and I'm going to start that when I get back so that I don't have any wiggle room.
Okay, I like it. And the other thing I like is that you've just announced that to our vast array of 50 listeners. And
yes,
so
hold me accountable.
They can all hold
me accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they won't be at home so they won't know what I'm doing, but you can hold me accountable.
No, but maybe we should just give everybody your phone number and then they could text you. Hey, Rebekah, what time did you get up this morning? Or
I mean, I feel like most of the listeners have my phone number, so you guys can text me if you want to.
Anyway, no, I think that's great. I think it's a good plan. There may be mornings, maybe I'll get up and go on a walk with you.
Yeah.
Unless I know
good.
you like
but
being by
also
yourself.
I was about to say, the mornings may not be the best time to go on a walk with me. It
That's
probably will be a little bit of an angry walk.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You still have your angry eyes in at that point, so you know how.
Yeah. But I have aura, apparently, according to Micah.
In the morning,
I have aura. So
yeah, I don't consider what you have in the mornings aura. That is,
I don't either.
100% not the word I would use to describe that. So,
but I'm glad that Micah
I
thinks
can
it
think
is.
of another A. Attitude. That's what I would describe that.
That is not the A I thought you were talking about.
Well, that too. That would fit.
I was like, wow, what is she about to say on the podcast?
You have an attitude. You have a tude in the morning. So anyway. Okay. Well, let's see. It's been a week. It's been quite a week since we last talked. I feel like there's just some heaviness and heavy topics, but then there's also, there's also a lot of good stuff too. So, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was going to say that this is my official plea for Zaxby's to sponsor me, just in general, like sponsor my life, sponsor my podcast, sponsor all my endeavors, because the amount of people who like will text me or send me a Marco Polo when they're like going to Zaxby's now, they're like, oh, I was just driving by Zaxby's and I thought, oh, Rebekah misses Zaxby's, so I'm going to go to Zaxby's. I mean, Aunt Claire, Lauren, all of my friends are like, oh, Zaxby's.
Yes.
And I don't know, it's just like who I am now, apparently.
Yes, you love Zaxby's.
Yeah.
Claire was listening to our podcast and she was driving to see Amelia for her birthday. And she said she was getting off and she was listening to our podcast and she thought, oh, Rebekah likes Zaxby's. That's what I'll have for lunch. So
yeah.
And we're
so
talking
I'm glad
about
that I
Claire
helped her
again. And we will continue to talk about Claire on the podcast every episode, even if all we do is say, this is our official we're talking about Claire moment.
So that she listens. Hey, she did tell me, I don't know if she told you, but she listened to some of our podcasts on the drive back from seeing Amelia, because she texted me and she was like, have you sold your AirPods yet?
Oh, okay. So she is.
So she is getting them.
Oh.
So, anyways, yeah, the AirPods are hers. Yep.
Well, that's good. So Claire listened and she bought your AirPods. I love it.
Yeah. So,
Well
I
done.
mean, this is
Well done,
why
Claire.
you should listen, Claire. You might get AirPods out of it. So,
yes. Very good.
Good.
Okay. I love it. She didn't text me, so I wonder what her thoughts are of how much she was able to listen to and how much nonsense she was able to stand.
The AirPods episode is a random one because it's not like at the beginning, but it's not recent, so I don't know where she started.
Yeah, I don't know either. But she did say that she was looking at the titles and she noticed the alliteration. Remember, she's one of the few people that, like, I feel like notices. And just so everyone knows, that's challenging every week.
It's hard.
We every week are like, wait, what did we talk about? And, trying to figure out how to alliterate. So, anyway.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So, well, I think we should tell the listeners. Well, maybe you should. I'm still a little confused as to why Dad had to do this, but how you helped Dad get a gift for that lady for work.
Okay.
So confused.
Okay. Yeah, so why don't I sent you a text asking for help to pick out a book, which in the end, I didn't choose any of your suggestions.
Right. So, why did you even ask me, Mom? I, dug through her Goodreads. I was like, okay, what are some books that line up with what she's read?
Okay, so here's the deal. For Robbie's work, he is on this part of this, leadership team panel something, and they've got a meeting this coming up week, actually. No, next week, because it's right after you've gotten home, I think. And they're getting together, and one of the things that the head of it has asked them all to do is they've read that book. What's it called? What did I tell you the book was called? Unreasonable Hospitality. Okay, they've read the book Unreasonable Hospitality, and it's just about this guy who opens a restaurant, and I think it's in New York. I've actually never read the book, but he's just top tier customer service where they go above and beyond. They'll stalk people's social media, people who have reservations, and if it's a special occasion, they'll have a gift for them. Or anyway, it's just very over the top customer service. And so their leadership team, they've all read this book, and each person was assigned the name of someone probably that they don't know. And because Dad's
with the company, does this lady work with Dad?
She does. I was about to explain that with Dad's company, of course he knows everyone that works here in the Atlanta Shelter Mortgage branch, kind of. Yes, with the Atlanta company of the bigger company. But there's going to be people from lots of other offices. And from corporate, which is in, I think it's Pittsburgh, but they've got a lot of people from the Midwest. And then this lady's from New York. Anyway, all that aside.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know. They're all over. All that aside, they were each assigned the name of someone they did not know, and they had to research them. And then they have to bring them a gift to this meeting that they're having next week. And so Dad mentioned something about it to me. He was like, I have to find a gift for this lady. I don't know anything about her. I'll probably just ask somebody at headquarters that knows her. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? So he explained to me, he sent me her name. I was like, what's her name? He sent me her name. I said, listen, I will take this project on for you. Allow me to take this off of your shoulders. So stress on this no more. So I start researching this lady because Dad doesn't know how to cyberstalk anyone.
Right. Well, he's a man.
He's a man. So. They don't know. I mean, whereas, you give me a name and I will hunt you down to when you were in elementary school and, you had in-school suspension for flipping your lunch tray, on top of someone's head. I'm going to find it. True. So I did. I started researching. Well, the problem is all of her social media is private. So obviously, unless I've asked to follow her, I can't see any of that, which I'm not going to do that because you can't do that. But I did read, I think I was about on the third page of the Google search of her name. And I finally found some articles that had a few little personal blips about her. And one of them said something about reading, and it just clicked with me. I bet she's on Goodreads. And so I went to Goodreads, and I was able to find, I don't think it's super updated, but I was definitely able to see some of the things she's read. She's in a lot of like technical magazines and things for her role and her job. And so I was able to read some about that. But anyway, so I decided that a book would be a good thing to get her. And that's when I reached out to you. I sent you her Goodreads, and you sent me some really good suggestions. But at the end of the day, here's what I went with. I decided to go with Count of Monte Cristo for a couple of reasons. Number one, she had classics on her Goodreads that she had read. Number two, a lot of people that love classics or claim to love classics have never read Count of Monte Cristo. So
true, it's underrated.
It is underrated. Number three, it's one of my favorite novels. I love it so much. It's oh my goodness, I want to go read it right now. It's wonderful. So that was number three. Number four, I felt like I could probably get a really pretty copy of it, whereas some of the other books we were talking about are newer, and they're not going to have that classic book look to them, and so. Those are the reasons that I nixed all of our other ideas and went with
all of my ideas.
Well, no, because really I was going to do Warmth of Other Suns was the other one I was going to do, which was also my idea. But I saw on the Goodreads she'd read some Isabel Wilkerson, and so I figured she probably already read Warmth of Other Suns. Another great book that's not a novel. It is nonfiction, and it's an excellent read. Oh my goodness. It's also actually probably one of my top favorite books. It's just very well written.
I've been meaning to read it for forever, and I haven't.
Okay. So well, we have it. I need it. I think it's at Big Canoe. So if you want to read it, I need to bring it home. But
it is. I like can picture the Big Canoe shelves. Yeah.
I see it there. So anyway, that's why I decided to go with Count of Monte Cristo. It came in, and it is beautiful. And so I'm going to wrap it really pretty for her. And anyway, I'm going to have to teach.
She's going to know his wife did this. He can't wrap a book this well. He can't. She's going to know.
He's already planning on just straight up coming clean with the whole thing. Like, they have to present the gift to the person in front of everybody.
Oh my gosh. What in the world?
So he's going to just say, listen, I don't know how to cyberstalk people, but I got my wife and my daughter on it, and here we are. So
that's funny.
But I am gonna.
He's like, I practiced hospitality by giving this project to my wife.
That's right. That's right. So I am gonna have to teach him how to fluff the bow, because I'm sure once he travels and puts it in a suitcase, it's gonna get smushed. So.
Yeah, I saw that.
Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of fun. Just cyber stalking some random lady. And listen, I feel like Goodreads is an underrated stalking tool.
Oh, yes. I use it often. I'm like, I feel like what you're reading says a lot about you. Mm-hmm. Also, people's Spotifys. I will stalk their Spotifys. I'm like, what are you listening to? What are your playlists like?
Oh, that's a good one. The only bad thing is, like, my Goodreads, well, first of all, it's under McKinney's name, I think. Every time. I have no idea. Oh,
McKinney, you're reading The Warmth of Other Suns.
You know how when y'all are kids and you're setting up accounts, lines get crossed.
Yeah.
And you end up under my stuff. And anyway, but the only books that I read that actually go on Goodreads are books I read on the Kindle, and it's because it syncs to Goodreads automatically. Any book that I read, just a physical book, I don't ever put it on. Like I don't keep my Goodreads up. Is what I'm saying to you.
Got it. You should. It's fun. I like to.
I know.
Make lists and reviews. It's fun.
I know. I feel like I should. I just have never gotten to it. But I should go check out my Goodreads and see. It's I guarantee you it's all books from my Kindle, and it's probably like the free books that they offer you for like $1.99, and most of them are probably World War II fiction, is my guess.
Yep.
Because that seems to be what pops up on my Kindle a lot. So Anyway.
That's funny.
But yes, Goodreads. So if you need to stalk someone out there, people, if you're a parent and you're trying to find out about your guy's girlfriend, check her Goodreads. If you're trying to find out about your girl's boyfriend, check the Spotify, check the Goodreads.
I was about to say, he may not have a Spotify. She will. He may not. Or a Goodreads. He may not have a Goodreads.
This is not a statement.
If he does,
this is not a statement about gender differences. Good. This is how to stalk your children's love interests.
I don't know, Mom. It sounded like you were making a statement.
I wasn't. Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so yeah. Thanks for reminding me about that, because I'd totally forgotten about that fun little thing we had going on this week. So I spent quite a few hours on it, actually.
I know. Well, I spent a little bit of time as well, and then you didn't even use any of my ideas. So.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate your input, but don't you think Count would be a good book?
Yes, I think that is a good book for pretty much anyone. I feel like anyone would enjoy that too. Like, it's so a good universal, like, it appeals to people in a lot of different ways.
I think Dad's been reading it since before you left, and I don't think he's made it. He just,
well, it's a long book.
It is a long book, but it's such an intriguing story, and you get sucked in, and you cannot put it down. But your dad's not had that same experience, which makes me kind of sad. Well, so
that's okay. He's also busy with other things.
Also, speaking of Count of Monte Cristo, my cousin Amy, well, they went to France for Emma's senior trip. They went for 2 weeks to France this summer, and she brought me from the Chateau d'If, where the Count was imprisoned. It's a real prison. They were there, and she brought me a little painting of it to frame.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh, my goodness. What?
I know. It was really
That's
sweet.
so, I didn't realize that was a real place. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. We were talking about it. They stayed here for one of the girls' graduation parties. And
yeah, I was wondering, like,
so Todd and Amy were staying here, and they were telling us all about their trip and where all they were going. And somehow we got to talking about the Count, and she was reading it. She didn't get all the way through before they left to go, but she was pretty close to through.
Okay.
So. Anyway,
that's fun.
That was a real deep dive on the Count of Monte Cristo. Unexpected.
Yeah, read it, everyone.
Yes, read it. It's a really good book.
And then eat a Monte Cristo sandwich.
Okay. I don't even think I've ever had a Monte Cristo sandwich.
I don't think I have either, but it makes me think of Gilmore Girls because they mention it at some point.
That's right.
I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, very good. Luke has a new menu. I think it's when he has a new menu.
Yeah, and
on the menu.
They're like, you got rid of the Monte Cristo sandwich, and he's like, you never even ate it, and they're like, but we wanted to, and he's like, you literally could have for like 15 years.
And then he said, okay, I'll make you a Monte Cristo sandwich. Is that what you want? And they're like, no, that's not what we want.
Yeah, he's like, okay, here's the old menus, and they're like, but we want the new menus. They're shiny and pretty.
That's right. Oh my goodness, so good.
We've seen this show way too many times.
But
now that Aunt Claire listens to the podcast, we can't say any spoilers because she's watching it for the first time.
Oh, that's right, with the girls. Oh, okay. Well, that's not a spoiler. Luke gets new menus.
No, that's not a spoiler. I'm just saying, like, big whoop.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, because that's right. I forgot she told us that. Oh,
yeah, because we said something one time, and it was like an episode she listened to, and she was like, guys, I didn't know this happened.
Right. I know what we said.
But also, like, here's the thing. That show's been out for, like... Yeah, yes, that is what we said. And she was like, wait, I didn't know Rory had dropped out of Yale. Okay, but the show has been out for, like, 25 years, so it's kind of like... Like, everyone knows Elizabeth Bennet marries Mr. Darcy. Like, sorry, but if you haven't read it, like, you've had time. Like, everyone knows that that's how that book ends. It's true. You know?
Yes.
So,
that's true.
All that to say. Sorry if I just spoiled Pride and Prejudice for you, but you've had time to read it. So.
And we'll try not to spoil any more Gilmore Girls. So
yes.
For Aunt Claire, who has yet again found her way into our podcast.
I know. How are we talking about her so much?
I don't know. It's so good. It's so good. The other thing that we talked about this week, you and me, was just how are we going to do this when you're home? Like, are we going to be in different rooms, or are we going to try to record in the same room? I feel like we kind of need to be in the same room, because it's going to be weird if you're downstairs in your office and I'm up here and we're having a conversation.
But we don't have the equipment to like hook two mics up to one computer. Like, we just don't have that equipment. So that's where I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Right. So that might be something that we need to use some of our Crozier Girls capital for.
Yeah,
we still have
we do have a lot of that saved up.
Yes.
We've got a lot in the bank.
We have so much. I don't know how much those machines cost, but we're gonna have to figure out some type of solution. So I guess
we can ask. We need to ask Chet, like, what they do. I don't know. Because that's our, like, one other podcast connection. Like, they sit in the same room and they
Yes.
do it.
And also, we just might need to tell everyone, you have jury duty next week when you're home. So I would expect we're probably going to have a week off.
Yeah.
Just so that we can get things figured out, get the right equipment, all of that. But we do have a special guest coming up that we've already talked to, and so that'll be fun in a few weeks. Don't miss out.
Okay, well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you, like, ready for me to be home? Or are you like, oh, Rebekah, like, I don't want her to come back?
People keep asking me, aren't you so excited for her to come back? And my answer has been,
she's not excited.
No, that's not it. My answer has been, I'm excited for you to come back, but I'm also very sad for you, because I know how hard this week's probably going to be at times for you, and that you're going to be sad, saying goodbye to people and places. And I know how connected you get to places, and you don't like things to change, and you like your spots, and you know, all the things. And, honestly, you just said it so beautifully in your Substack article. So shout out, if you haven't read Rebekah's Substack, go look at it. But
I did not tell her to say that.
No, you didn't. But that's been my answer. Like, it's bittersweet for me too, because it's the sweet because I know I'll have you home, but then there's also the bitter because I know that my child will be, it'll be hard and sad. So, and I think the transition for you is going to be a challenge. I think it's not going to be easy, because you've gotten into a way of life that you really love, and now you're leaving that to come back to a way of life that you also love, but just very different. And so, yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Well, I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate that you're not just like, oh, yes, she's coming home. Like, I mean, like, you are, but I don't know. I appreciate that you recognize that it will be hard, and that you're like, you want me to thrive where I'm going to thrive. You're not just like, oh, I want her home,
right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm never that way. We're never.
No, I know.
And we've talked about that on here before, is I don't want to ever hold you back. And if that means you move to Europe permanently, then, and I certainly, after the day that you had today, I mean, it's just such confirmation that that's right where the Lord wanted you, and that He had you in Croatia for this season for a very specific purpose and reason. Several reasons. But anyway, you had the coolest experience today. Do you want to give like a just very high level, I don't know, explanation?
I after church today, just went to one of my favorite coffee shops. It's like pretty close by, and I was just sitting there reading my Bible, and this guy, like y'all's age, like my parents' age, comes out of the coffee shop, and he like is sitting down at the table kind of next to me, and he sees that I'm reading my Bible, and he asked me, oh, like, you're reading your Bible? And I was like, yes. And he asked me in Croatian, by the way, and I answered, and I understood him. But it's also not hard because I know the word Biblia, so right. But anyways, so then we started talking, and he just was asking me. He was like, oh, that's so crazy. I came out to see someone reading their Bible and also studying. At first he said philosophy. And he was like, I was just reading Augustine, and, he was a Christian. I was like, yeah, I'm familiar. And he was like, are you studying theology for university? And I was like, no, like, I'm out of university. I'm just studying my Bible because I love God and this is his word. And he was like, oh, okay. And so I asked him, I was like, are you a Bible believing Christian? And he was like, no. And he was like, I'm not an atheist, but I wouldn't say I'm a Christian. I just like have a lot of questions. He basically told me he's a mathematician, so he just struggles with like religion and science, and he just was asking me a lot of really, really hard questions about Christianity in America, Catholicism in America, to which I had to say, like, I don't know a lot about Catholicism in America. I'm so sorry. I'm not Catholic, but just was asking so many hard questions. And we talked about like morality, and he was like, I think it's relative. And I was like, well, I think all humans have an innate sense of what's right and what's wrong, and that can only come from a sovereign creator. Anyways, we just he asked me a lot of hard questions, and I don't even know like if I answered them correctly or not, because some of them I was like, oh my goodness, like very, very smart guy. And he knew the Bible, like he knew all about it. There were even some things he said that I was like, I think you understand this better than a lot of Christians do. The fact that God is multifaceted, and he's not just, I think a lot of Christians shy away from the fact that, the God did, enact judgment on Israel because they sinned against him. And I think a lot of Christians don't want to grapple with that because it's really hard. How is God good if he's also destroying a nation? Like that kind of thing, which he didn't fully destroy them. He left a remnant. It's like a whole thing, but you know what I mean? Like it's just, yeah. So anyways, and I told him, I was like, yeah, God is multifaceted, and you're correct on that. And you're correct in that a lot of Christians think that their lives are going to be perfect once they become a Christian. The Bible does not promise us that. Right. Anyway, so just really interesting conversation. And he basically just ended up telling me at the end that the way he explained it, it was kind of confusing. I could tell he was struggling to find the like words in English, but he was just saying like, I feel like I'm dancing around this one thing and I know everything about it, but I can't like get to it. Almost like he knows everything about Christianity, but he was like, I can't experience it. He was like, I feel like I'm missing something, like I'm missing like the meaning of it. And and so I ended up sharing with him some books I thought he should read. He added them to his Amazon cart right there in front of me. I was like, okay, cool. And then he left for the airport. Like he's not even from Zagreb. He just happened to be, I don't actually know why he was in Zagreb today, but anyway, so.
Well, he happened to be in Zagreb today to see some little redheaded American reading her Bible in a coffee shop. And the Lord divinely put that appointment together for you. And so that is a perfect example of why I don't ever want to tell you, don't go there, don't do this. Yeah. Because the Lord has for you specific people that you can reach and talk to. You're very intellectual. And so I have no doubt that you were able to talk to this man on his level. And I know that you said to us, he asked questions that you couldn't answer. And you were honest with him about that. And that's fine. But I think there were a lot of questions that you probably were able to answer. And then you were able to recommend some really good books for him that, Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Excellent choice.
Yeah. He was talking a lot about like morality and the law and just all these things. And I was like, C.S. Lewis really does a good job of that in Mere Christianity. Absolutely. So that's why I recommend it.
And from a very high intellectual level too, C.S. Lewis comes from. So anyway, that's just a perfect example of why as parents, we cannot tell our kids, they want to go on a mission trip. If they feel the Lord's calling them, don't stop them, because they may be missing out on an appointment that he has for them to share the gospel with somebody that needs it. And this isn't the first time this has happened to you over this 6 months. And I just love that you were there and you're obedient. And I also love, we were talking about it in the car on the way home, because we watched your message in the car on the way home from church. And we were just talking, Micah was like, wow, she was there with him for an hour. And I'm like, it's just so nice that you create space in your day, that everything's not packed in so that you have no room and no margin to stop and interact. Yep. If somebody approaches you at a coffee shop, that you're not running off to the next appointment so quickly all the time. and that there's space and there's margin
Yeah.
to have these conversations. I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's something I've been able to do here. Just, I mean, to be honest, because I know less people here and I have less
Sure.
things to do, less not responsibilities, but
Sure.
just like, yeah, less going on, less appointments. And so it's been
Right.
easier to do here. And that's one thing that I'm like, part of me is kind of dreading coming back to the US because of that. I'm like, there's so many more demands on my time in Georgia, and some of them are good. Like, I am excited to see friends and family again, but I think I have to say no to things sometimes so that I do provide that space for, God to be like, hey, slow down, because I want you to talk to this person and you may think you need to hurry, but you actually don't.
Right.
And, it's also just nice I was talking about this with this guy today, actually. I think it's really important to reflect on our just things that we see, experience, talk about with people, things we read, watch, listen to. And I think that because we're so busy, we don't leave space to just like sit and think. And I think that's so important, to just sit and think. Like, you have a 20-minute drive, don't listen to anything. Just sit and like think about that movie you watched last night that like is, you just really need to think about it because there's some conflict in it that you just really need to dwell on and like think about and like wrestle with yourself on and like wrestle with your soul and like wrestle with God. Like, I don't know. I just think that's so important to like make space for that. So I want to remember to make space for that when I come home, and just remember to have more time for, I don't know, just for God to like move and like for me not to feel so hurried. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
No, that's good. That's beautiful. It makes good sense. So anyway, well, I love that story. I love that it happened this week. Just further confirmation that you were supposed to be there. And I love it.
Yeah.
So
if you think about it, pray for my friend. We'll call him Larry.
Larry. Yeah. And he did get your contact information, right?
Yes. He already messaged me on WhatsApp, and he said, it was such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. He said it was a pleasure to meet a real Christian with like open arms to discuss my theoretical questions. He said, let it be the beginning of a fruitful exchange. Because I told him, if you have questions, like, message me. I may have to consult my pastors before I respond. But
at some point, maybe Larry will get WhatsApp information for Landon Dowden.
But, I was about to say, I may pass on your information to my pastor.
No, that's wonderful. And where is he from in the world?
He is German. Well, one of his parents is German. One of them is like Serbian, but he's from Germany. But he's been living in Croatia for a while, and he lives in Opatia with his wife. But they're moving somewhere soon, I think.
Okay, interesting.
I think.
Yeah. So be praying for Larry. He's definitely seeking the truth, and just pray that his eyes will be opened and his heart will be open to the true gospel. So I love that. I also love that just the art of conversation, of being able to approach someone that maybe you don't agree with and being able to strike up a conversation with them and have a civil, kind conversation. Even if you don't agree, right? You and Larry didn't agree necessarily on everything. He doesn't understand why you believe the Bible to be absolute truth and the authoritative word that you live your life by, but yet you were able to sit down and have a fruitful conversation. And I just think that's also something in the United States that obviously we have gotten wrong in the last several generations. Just the art of disagreeing, and that it's a good thing when we disagree with people because it causes us to ask hard questions of our own beliefs and to hone our own understanding of what we believe. And so unfortunately in our society, we've gotten to the place where if you disagree with me, you're bad, you're wrong, you're mean, and you're hateful. Instead of, if you disagree with me, okay, well, let me go read the word and make sure that what I believe is true. Let me think about what you're saying and see if perhaps you could be right. And we've just lost the art of that. And it's it's sad and it's scary. And it played out this week in events with Charlie Kirk's shooting and other shootings that happened this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really good point. Okay. Yeah. And speaking of Charlie Kirk, I have a question for you, Mom.
Okay.
Okay. Like if one of your kids did something really awful, like what the shooter did, would you, or maybe even not that awful, because that's pretty extreme, like, and you knew about it, you found out and you were like, oh my gosh, my kid did that, would you turn us in?
Okay, well, it's so interesting that first of all, so it was Thursday night. I said, there's a mother out there somewhere who's seen these still shots that they've released, and she knows that this person is her son. And that brings up a moral dilemma big time. And then, of course, we found out Friday morning that it was the parents that had turned the young man in. And so then you asked me that question over Marco Polo, and I had already been like thinking through it and wrestling with it. And so I do have a story to tell you. It's very, very much, I mean, nothing as serious, obviously, as this. But several years ago, one of my children was involved in a prank at school. Do you remember when this was a big thing on TikTok where kids were like destroying bathrooms?
Yeah.
What was it called? It had a name.
I don't know.
Anyway, a devious lick. Is that what it was called?
Is that what it was called? I don't know. I'm not
Devious lick.
up to date on the lingo.
No, this was old lingo. This would have been like while you were in college. So one of my children participated in a prank at school where him and a few other boys stole a soap dispenser from the bathroom at their school. And again, this is so not even the same level.
Right.
And at the time, I had logged in, I had an account on my computer. I have a Mac. And I was able to read all of this child's text messages. Mm-hmm. And I did that because I had concerns about some choices that were being made. I'm just going to be honest. And in our house, you really don't have privacy if you're going to live in my house.
While you have a pay, you have a say.
That's right.
As long as we pay, we have a say.
As long as I pay, I have a say. And so...
And that's why I'm scared to come home. No, I'm just kidding.
But I was able to read all his text messages, and he didn't know about it. And I saw one day a video on his phone of him and a few of these other boys taking the soap dispenser. And so I knew that my child had been a part of it. And I knew that I had evidence. I had a timestamp. I knew exactly when it had happened. And I had evidence that would help the school. And for about a week, I didn't do anything because I was torn. Even something as small as this and insignificant. This is not going to send them to jail. This is not certainly going to cause them their life. But I wrestled with, do I turn them in or not? Do I turn this child in? And at the end of the day, I did. I called our principal at the time and I told her, I'm going to send you this video, but I need you to promise that it does not come back on me because I don't want I don't want to be found out as to how I'm getting this information because I still felt like it was valuable to read this child's text messages. And this child is aware of this now. We've just recently talked about it and he said, oh, it all makes sense now, is what he said. But anyway.
This is how you do everything about my life.
Yes,
Man.
It's so true. But I did. I turned him into the school, and the school was appreciative, and the boys were brought in, and they had consequences that affected not just them, but their teams, because they had to miss games. And it really was a turning point for this particular child in waking up and realizing some of the people he was hanging around with and some of the choices he was making were not good. So that's a long story, but to say, like, I can from a teeny tiny itty bitty standpoint understand the dilemma in what do we do, right? And so they're faced with this. Now, I'm sure for them, his face is all over every TV screen in America. So they probably knew if we don't turn him in, then someone else will, and it may not go well with him. You know, there could be violence. Who knows what all they were thinking? But I definitely can somewhat understand. And I think just any parent out there, it's a hard thing that they've done. And I really admire those parents for doing the right thing, even though it could very well mean the life of their child. And I would just go on to say, you know, a little further on that topic. Dad at Bible study Friday morning, and some of the guys were talking about this, and they said, you know, the wrath of God for this action of violence, you know, political assassination, the wrath of God will be poured out to cover this sin. And it'll either be poured out on the shooter, or we should be praying that he comes to understand and accept the gospel. And then that wrath has already been poured out on Jesus. And so, you know, it was a horrible thing that happened. And for every single sin that has ever been committed, the wrath of God will be poured out. And it will either be poured out on the individual if they don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, or it's already been poured out and satisfied on Christ himself. And I think as believers in Jesus, that's how we handle these kinds of things, right? We should handle them differently from the rest of the world. And if the rest of the world wants to laugh and joke and celebrate the death of this person, I hope and pray Christians aren't doing that. I hope and pray we're looking at it as, God, please save his soul so that your wrath is not poured out on him, but it's poured out, you know, already covered because it was poured out on Jesus. Anyway, I don't know. Those are my thoughts at this point on it. So,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
you made me tear up.
Yeah,
it's like, I feel like I don't know, it makes us realize and be grateful for Jesus' sacrifice all the more when it's like, I mean, my sins are heinous as well, but like this, I mean, very public, awful thing that was done. But like, yeah, if he turns to the Lord, God will have mercy on him because Jesus has already died for that sin.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, some people call it the scandal of the gospel. It is. It's scandalous that no matter how bad and how sinful, you can worship at the feet of Jesus just like Charlie Kirk is doing. I mean, the picture of his shooter and him worshiping side by side, it's possible if this kid comes to know the Lord. And that should be our prayer, because I don't think we should ever desire anyone to face the wrath of an almighty God. Yeah. And eternity separated.
We see him in the Bible, I mean, Saul became Paul, and Paul is now worshiping at the feet of God alongside the Christians he persecuted.
Stephen.
And that,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I just too was thinking about it, and I just was praying, Lord, if someone who I disagree with vehemently, if, you know, people who politically are so opposite of me and who I just get angry watching them, commentators on TV that just make my blood boil, if one of them were to be shot and killed, please don't let me react the way these people are reacting. Like, not even verbally speak it, but don't even let my heart be thankful for that life extinguished. Because again, if they don't know Jesus, then, they will have the wrath of Almighty God on them for eternity. And that's harsh. That's a lot. So anyway, every now and then we just get real deep on this podcast.
Yeah. And, I think Charlie Kirk would love to see his shooter in heaven.
Absolutely.
I don't know him, but just from what I know of him, I'm pretty sure he would.
That's right. He would welcome him with open arms. And so, and that, again, that's the beauty of the gospel. I saw a clip, just a very short clip this week from David Platt, and he was saying, I was sitting having dinner, having a meal with people, and there was a man from one country who talked about how he, for years and years and years, his mission had been to kill this group of people. And then there was one of the men from that group that was there, and he said, for years and years and years, it was my mission to kill his people. And now they're sitting down and they're sharing a meal. And how in the world is that even possible except for unity in Christ? Ephesians 2, right? That Christ came to tear down the dividing wall of hostility so that we could all be unified under the banner of Jesus. And that should be our prayer.
Yeah. And that makes me think of Elizabeth Elliot, too. I mean, her husband was killed, and she went back to the same tribe, knowing she could end up the same way, and she witnessed to them, and the chief of that tribe, and I don't remember where they were, came to know the Lord.
Right.
And
yes,
now they're in heaven together as well, and they literally killed her husband.
Right.
So
yes, it's beautiful. So anyway. Well, we've been talking for a while. Do you have any parting final thoughts on this last Croatian podcast?
No, my final parting thoughts are the last hour. Okay. I've already had lots of final thoughts. Okay. We've been talking for an hour.
Yeah. Agree. Okay. Well, good.
Well, actually, no, I changed my mind. Wait. I will say to all of our listeners and just everyone who has just been really sweet about texting me and just keeping up, just wanting to keep up with what I'm doing. I just really appreciate all of you. And I know a lot of you are my mom's friends, but thank you for loving my parents well by loving me well. And I just appreciate all of everyone who's followed along with my journey. So I feel like this is really cheesy, but
no, it's sweet. It's great. And you've had lots of prayers, lots of support, and the Lord has been so good and faithful every step of the journey. So I love it.
Yep.
So I thought that since we are already out of time, we will just forego high point and low point this week. Is that good with you?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. There's no higher point than the gospel, and we've already talked about that, and there's no lower point than the wrath of God for those that do not know Jesus, and we've already talked about that. So I don't possibly see how we could improve on either of those things this week. So,
wow. Mic drop, Mom.
Yeah, mic drop.
That was good.
We will sign off, and then next time you guys hear from us, Rebekah will be here with us, with me in person. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.